Hello scholars, welcome back. In this lecture, I would like to discuss a brief history of science. This is by no means an exhaustive list, but this puts in context how science has developed through time to get to where we are today. So today's objective is to briefly describe, again briefly, not exhaustive, early scientific thought that encompasses a range of ideas and contributions from various cultures and historical periods up to contemporary times. So, early thought. Western scientific thought began in ancient Greece with the philosophers who were looking and observing and questioning the world, all aspects of the world, but also the natural world. We can go back to Aristotle, born in 384 before the Common Era, the first person to really put in empirical evidence. All the I's. Empirical evidence, right? Which is numbers and observations. He was doing a lot of thinking, but he was also doing a lot of experimenting and observing and recording. So, okay, that is 2,400 years ago, 2,300 years ago. So, long time that someone started to write things down and make recorded observations. Ancient Greece, the 6th to the 4th centuries, we have Greek mathematicians. Pythagoras coming in, developing the Pythagorean theorem, although I have recently read an article that said this theorem was written down before. Fascinating stuff, but today, Pythagorean theorem is designated to Pythagoras, and he created a bunch of mathematical models. So, using the universe, geometry, mathematics to start to observe the world. Democritus proposed the idea of invisible particles. Proposed water as the fundamental source of life. Great, okay. So 4th century to 2nd century. So 4th century BCE to 2nd century Common Era. So this is science that was happening in China. A lot of alchemy. So taking different substances and looking at the interactions of them together to develop medicinal knowledge, right? It's kind of like the prelude to chemistry. Chinese back then were also producing texts on astronomy and mathematics, alchemy, medicine, formulating systematic methods, recording them and reproducing them to understand how our world works, right? So science is the systematic inquiry through the scientific method to explain and understand the natural phenomena and governing processes here on Earth, and it's been around for a long time. Formulated around the 16th to 17th century, but we'll get to that. And what I like about this too, this brief introduction, is we've got this thought, scientific revolution led to multidisciplinary scientific approach, but no, people have been trying to understand the world for a long time. Lots of people all over the earth, all over Asia, all over Europe, pretty much as long as people have been on Earth, we've been interested in how this thing works with various ways to describe physical, metaphysical, spiritual, religious. There's a place for all of them. But within this one language of science, this is the progression from early thought to now. So we've got the Aryabhata made contributions to astronomy. Charaka and Sushruta wrote the foundational texts on Ayurveda. So Ayurveda is a lifestyle. It's living with nature through specific ways. Developing, it's often considered partner to yoga. Yoga has been around for a very long time too. First recorded history of yoga, 5,000 years ago. First time the word appeared, 2,000 years ago. And then now it's everywhere. the Islamic Golden Age, the 8th to 14th century. So Ibn Sina, this is an early geologist. He looked at sedimentation and landscape evolution. We've got other researchers contributing to optics and the scientific method, chemistry and medicine, medieval Europe. Now we've got optic studies by Roger Bacon. We have furthering mathematics, physics, philosophy, empiricism. So some of these concepts of science have been growing over time. Relatively slowly, yes, but they're developing. The Renaissance being a very big leap in our understanding of the universe. And that leap was such that up until this time, up until Copernicus and Galileo, the Earth was held as the center of the universe, and then the ideas of Copernicus and the evidence of Galileo gave us this worldview, universal view, that the sun is the center of the universe, and that really changed everything. We've got William Harvey describing blood, laws of planetary motion. This sets the stage for the scientific revolution. Isaac Newton comes out, and he's really developing Newtonian physics. And in order to do that, he creates the language of calculus. Around that, we've got Boyle's law relating to gas to pressure. We have geometry and chemistry and physics and mathematics taking this giant leap forward, 15th to 17th centuries. In this scientific revolution of the time, this is when some of these new sciences start to come on board. Astronomy, geology, physics, biology, chemistry, oceanography. Fill in the blank. People started to get really interested in various sciences. The scientific method was developed and then through time repeated and revised and expanded to get to where we are today. Contemporary scientific thought. Vast and diverse array of various disciplines, discoveries, technologies. Some of those: quantum mechanics, genomics, AI, machine learning, climate science, neuroscience, astrophysics. This is where we are today. Nanotech, biotech, genetic engineering, renewable technology, gene editing, CRISPR. It goes on and on and on. So science today is really exciting. What we can do with the methods and the lines of inquiry and the technologies that we've developed. But it's come a long way from early scientific thought, Aristotle, first person recording empirical evidence, through the last couple thousand years with all of the advancements in understanding and methodology that's gotten us to where we are today. So thanks to key players throughout history for helping to advance scientific thought. These individuals in periods represent a fraction of the rich tapestry, but they provide an introduction and a framework for which we can dive further into this idea of the history of science. These early researchers, these early scientists, laid the foundation for the advancements to come in subsequent generations. So it being science, science built upon itself through the ages, and it had its scientific revolution around the 16th century that has then allowed us to diversify into the multidisciplinary approach that allows us to really understand, grow, develop technology and our view of the world that we have today. Thank you so much. I'll see you again.